Balik. Sama dia.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 Speed Build video. And today I'm creating this Lake District / Valley house. I've thought about doing this for a hot second, as I say at the beginning of almost every single one of my videos. But I've been thinking of doing this, and I did it kind of wrong. Like, I did it how I wanted to do it, but not quite exactly how I needed it to be done. Like, I originally, when I imagined doing this build, I imagined it to be way more expansive than it is. I used as you can see in the top left corner, I used this particular lot. And if you recognize this lot, this is also the same lot I used when I made the medieval village. So I was like, this is a big lot. It's a 40 by 30. It'll be a perfect size lot. No, I need it bigger. I think generally, I don't like thinking about it, but I generally think that maybe even 64 by 64 would have been a better suited lot for doing this type of build, because I wanted originally to have like way more houses here. I wanted it to be like at least like 3 houses, very sparsed out, like a little farm at the corner of one house. I just wanted it to be like away from everything. And I imagined that, and the type of Sims that would have lived here and the type of storytelling that you would have had here is that these are Sims that are really like kind of recluse. Like they wanted to be away from like every single person there, away from what they've got like a little mini village that they can walk down to, and they've got their little trucks and stuff like that to carry all of the supplies and everything, but they're kind of like far away from everything, like very mountainous, mountain people almost. And the inspiration for this, because I've been inspired to do this for the longest time. I want to say the longest time, I mean like since January, and since currently I was about to say April to May, like mid-May. I was thinking of doing this because I read a book and there was this one character that was just living in the mountains, and I thought, okay, let me just have something quite in a similar realm as that. Let me build something like that, because I've done cabins before. I've actually even done a cabin in Hereford or Bagley myself. But I was just like, no, this time I really want to make something that's a little bit more like emerged and like involved and integrated within its environment. And this is a bit jarring because there's massive mountains, so it's not as integrated as I would want it to be, but it still looks like it belongs. Like that cinematic intro doesn't now look like it belongs. And what I love about this particular lot and why I used it for the medieval village as well is that it's so away from everything. And since every single lot surrounding it is editable, you can just remove those lots and make it really feel like it's away from everything. The only issue that it holds is that there is clearly a road at the back of it that leads up to where this used to be the cottage, which was every single time I delete this cottage, a little piece of me cries inside, because it is such a beautiful cottage. Whoever made this cottage that originally is on this lot is so talented, and it is so beautiful. And if I wasn't such an avid builder, I would utilize it, but I have a thing where I like building stuff myself. But yeah, I decided to make this little valley house thing, and I think this thing would look so pretty. It looks so pretty in summer because it is summer, but I think this thing would look so pretty during winter. Just imagine if you put little fairy lights outside and you wanted to do something a bit more like Christmassy themed. Like, I think this would look so pretty in winter. And as much as I love like where it is placed, I think I would just love to have such a longer running river. And if I spent a little bit more time, because as you guys can see, this is one of my more shorter videos. If I spent a little bit more time on it and I made it a little bit bigger, I would have liked it to look more like a waterfall, like it's like the river is like cascading down. Like you can see, maybe not necessarily the point of where the river begins to start cascading down into actually becoming a river, but like something a bit closer. Like I would have loved it if there was a bit more like, showcasing of the higher gradients, and it really looks like a downward or rivers flow downward, but like a more like obviously downward flowing river rather than it looking a bit more level as it is at the moment, but that's okay. It's okay because it's still a very cute build. And I would imagine this type of build is the build that you would utilize if you wanted a vacation home. So say you want to visit some sort of vacation. This is a perfect vacation family home, which also surprised me because I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is, but it somehow did turn out being as big as it is. It does look, I wouldn't say small, but it doesn't look huge, massive, but this can put a nuclear family in it. And when I say nuclear family, I mean 2 parents and 2 kids. I think it's a perfect house for that kind of thing, or even a pet, or you can even make one of the rooms an office. Like, I've made it into a residential, and it will be uploaded as a residential because I don't think many people have like packs that would make it a vacation. Did that come in the base game? Was that like, I think that's like something that is available within Snow Escape. So if I made it into like a vacation home, it would have only been, actually, I don't know if it's base game or if it's something that came with Snow Escape. My mind tells me Snow Escape, but my heart tells me maybe base game. But either way, it will be uploaded as a residential just so people who want to download it, and it may be a pack specific lot type, can still download it. The interesting thing about this build is that I don't normally build in this style. As you guys know, if you scroll through my YouTube channel, I'm not someone who normally likes building in this kind of, well, one, I don't like doing portraits. I hate them, especially when they look like these traditional, like, there's like, columns, and then there's the gate, not gate, fences and everything like that. And then everything looks very woodsy, and it looks like it's just like basically all American. I'm not the biggest fan of doing this style because I feel like I like being very explorative when I do my build. And when I do styles like this, it doesn't make me feel like I'm being necessarily explorative just because this is a typical style that a lot of people do. And I'm not saying the styles that I do on my channel are like the most unique things you've ever seen, because a heartbeat not like, you could probably see what I do in a lot of people's channels, but you can definitely see this kind of style in a lot more people's channels. So I just kind of like doing something a bit more that like really forces and exercises me to do something a little bit more creative. And this did come out beautifully, and I have done another build in this style. I was just kind of feeling the vibe. Well, to be fair, I did build this like 2 weeks ago, so it's not like it was like close together, but still, it's not my favorite style to do. But the thing is, and the good thing that allowed me to do this build was that we do have the windows and the stuff from home. It's not home ranch, horse ranch. And I think Horse Ranch is one of my favorite packs when it comes to windows and doors. It's such an overloaded pack for those kinds of things. And there is so many things within those packs that you can use when it comes to creating stuff like this. So I was like, when I was building it, I was like, this is the style I want to build. I really want to build it Valley-esque, but I don't know if I want to necessarily go that deep into Valley-esque. But then I was just like, wait, I've got Horse Ranch, let me just use the windows, because I don't use them that often, because I don't make builds like this. Like, I feel like I know I haven't done a farmhouse styled house. Like, do you know them houses, like those, like, I don't know, farmhouses, I guess. I haven't done one of those before, and I think it will be such a cool build for me to do, because I do have all of the stuff to make it a non-CZ build, and I think it'll look so cute. But yeah, I decided to use some of the Horse Ranch stuff to create this, and I was fighting everything in me. I think you saw it before, not to make this beige toned on the outside. I did end up relenting and making it slightly beige tone on the inside, but the outside I was like, no, I may be fussing with it. I may want to make it brown. I may want to make it beige. I may want to do this, but I need to fight the urge, and I need to make it red, because it would make sense if it was red. It would not make sense if it was beige. And I am putting so many trees. And originally, because the thing is, this thing was supposed to look very more mountainous. It wasn't supposed to look mountainous covered in trees. It was supposed to look mountainous like Switzerland. Like, I originally, in my head, I was thinking Switzerland, and everything. But then obviously I continued to do the build. I was like, Switzerland is not going to happen. This lot is far too small. So then I decided, okay, not Switzerland. What shall I do? And I ended up doing it more of, I think, oh God, what's it called? It's a very mountainous area in America. Very well-known mountainous area. Actually, if you want to know a little fun facts about this mountainous area, when all the continents were connected before, when it used to be Pangea, which first of all, the first time I found out about Pangea, it felt like I was solving a puzzle I never knew that I was interested in solving. Like, do you know when there's something in your life and you're like, I don't feel satiated. I feel like there's has to be more, like a mystery. It felt like a mystery, an opening and solving right in front of me when I found out at Pangea, because I was like, I felt like when I looked at the maps that all these should fit together like a jigsaw. And then when I found out it is technically kind of like a jigsaw, I was like, oh my God, Pangea. I love that. I love the theory. I love the concept and everything like that. It just felt right. And especially when I found out that India used to be connected to Africa and then it smashed into Asia and it created the mountainous areas that connect India and the rest of Asia. I was like, that just makes sense. Like the mountains looking like they've collided. It all made sense. Everything was just kind of connecting and I loved it. But anyway, with Pangea, when it used to all be connected, the mountainous area in America that I keep forgetting, was also connected to some area in the middle of Africa and up into the UK near where is it Stonehenge is place? Like it was all like kind of like almost in a line. So it's also kind of like very interesting that now separated, these particular areas are also seen as very supernatural or mysterious or even magical when they were once connected. It created almost like a line. This mountainous area that starts with it in America, I'm going to kick myself because when I finish recording, as soon as I click the end button, I'm going to remember it. But when these places used to all be connected together, the mountainous area in America that starts with is it Appalachia? I think it's Appalachia. I feel like, I think it's Appalachia, but I feel like I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Is it Appalachia or Appalachia? Is there, and that place is known as super mysterious and very like supernatural and like spiritualistic and everything like that. And I wasn't originally thinking of it when I was building this house because I feel like obviously there's a huge like community there. And do comment below if you live in Appalachia and if anything that I'm saying is true, because I'm someone who has been raised in the UK for most of their life, so they have no clue. The only mysterious forests or woods or even mountains I know of is somewhere in Scotland near the Highlands and Cannock Chase, and there's also this other place, God, how do I forget it? It's near the northeast, not necessarily Scotland, near York area. There's like some foresty areas over there, and there's actually one in the Midlands, I think, beyond Cannock Chase. And obviously, speaking of Stonehenge, I never realized it was in Scotland, and I feel very silly for this because I don't think I've stated this before. I really love Doctor Who. I absolutely adore it. And one of my favorite doctors, if not my favorite doctor, Matt Smith's Doctor, the 11th Doctor, there was an episode where it was Pandora's box and he was running around, prancing around in Stonehenge. And I used to think, oh, it must be so cool to go to Scotland, because first of all, I got a fascination with Scotland. I think it's an absolutely beautiful country, both environmentally and architecturally. It's just so beautiful. But I was like, wait, so you got to go and run around in Scotland around Stonehenge, and it's just I just love all those kind of like architectural finds and historical build sites, and I feel like there's such a strong beauty in them, and I'll discuss that in a second. But I was like, oh, that is so cool that he got to do that. And then I don't know what I was doing. I think because I did delve into, because I was looking at all things dark academia, because when I read my dark academia books, I want to be surrounded. So I want the music, I want the books, I want the films, I want everything. And as I was watching a list of different types of dark academia stuff, I saw stuff to do with Harry Potter, and I was like, oh, I haven't looked at Harry Potter in a second. Let's see what's going on in it. So I went into a whole deep dive back into trying to understand what's going on in the world. And then when I was looking at the Malfoy Manor, I was hearing that it's in Wiltshire, and I was like, oh, So that's up north. It's not up north. It's more down south. And guess what's also there? Stonehenge. And then I was like, wait, it's more down south. That's where Stonehenge is. It's not in Scotland. And I was shocked. I was really like shocked. I hope the information I'm saying is true, or someone in the comments is going to be writing me a really long, angry letter saying, how can you even think Stonehenge is there? But yeah, I was saying how much I love architectural builds. I'll go back to Appalachia in a second. Actually, you know what? I'll go back to find me in another video where I talk about the architectural builds, because I've got 3 minutes left. So I might as well just continue talking about this build. But yeah, in Appalachia, that's one of the more mountainous, very tree-like areas that I know of. Also, I know there's another area in Washington, D.C., but Washington, if I was not Washington, D.C., in Washington, period. No, Washington, D.C. it's not where I'm talking about. I'm talking about Washington State. I know there's also quite mountainous areas over there as well. I distinctively think of Twilight again. If Twilight is not based in Washington, again, that's my bad. But in Washington, there's a lot of trees and mountainous areas. And if I was basing this entirely on that, from the jump, I would have done it more like darker woodsy tones. I would have even done a kind of modernistic looking house, kind of like the Cullens house. And it's there with the trees and the mountains and everything like that. But I didn't, because I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking of Switzerland, and anyone who is from Switzerland, I apologize vehemently, because I did not mean to let this build get to that point. But yeah, I think it's really, and it's so weird that I've based this in Henfield Bagby, which is basically the world that it was inspired off of I would like to say the UK. I hope I'm correct. We did get stuff that are very UK inspired, like telephone boxes and double-decker buses. I would like to say the UK. So I did decide today I'm very unsure of myself. I think it's because I'm really out of it, because it's really hot in the UK on my left. I said this in like my last few videos, but it's really, really hot in the UK. Okay, not really hot. It's been worse. It's been like double this. I will never forget that summer. I went outside, and I just didn't know what to do with myself, because I was working during that period. And I genuinely, when I say I didn't know what to do with myself, I mean, as in, you go inside, it's hot. You go outside, it's hot. And it constantly felt like you're on a radiator. So all you want to do is like be in cold water, but you will feel so drowsy because of the heat, because of the UK. I'm saying hot, but it doesn't get hot. It gets warm, like severely, really warm. To the extent that you just feel like out of it. Like, okay, if you want like the best representation for it, if you've never like been to the UK, I'll say go into a sauna or turn on the radiator. If you have a radiator, like a water, something that utilizes water to generate heat, but not outwardly, maybe not outwardly a sauna, because it doesn't steam, but it feels like borderline steam. It's the heat that encompasses the UK is a mixture of the fact that the UK is an island at the end of the day. So we are surrounded by water. So that water will become hot, and it will slightly feel a bit more steamy. And then there is the fact that we have so many trees. So all the trees do end up like enclosing the heat. And then since it's such a small island, but with so many people, like over 66 million people, we have a lot of car exhaust fumes or factory fumes, or generating to create this thick heat that you will sweat through everything with. But yeah, anyway, that's the video, and I really hope you liked it, and I hope you liked my little fun little facts. I did try and talk about the build more of in this video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you don't, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments. The more the merrier, and I'll see you guys in the next video.